Hold on 1 second. Let me get my air.
I'll let you get the laughs off.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Peace and blessings, my brother.
Hold up.
Happy Juneteenth.
Hold on. Give me like 2 minutes. Hold up.
All right.
Off and meet you thing. All right.
I'll figure it out.
Cool.
We haven't guests on tonight.
Not tonight. Next week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Next week.
All right.
Unfortunately, I was looking forward to it too, but yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it's about time for some feminine energy on the show.
Yeah. I definitely had some topics I wanted to get off, so yeah.
Yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute. What this time?
This man over here with the Teddy Rileys going on. Already.
The man said the Teddy Riley, dog. Hold on, I gotta look like this right here. I got to turn around and look like somebody else did something. So what's up, man? Yeah.
Peace and blessings, my brother.
Peace and blessings. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth weekend and following Juneteenth weekend. Yes, sir.
Right. Don't mock my thread, sir.
Oh no, man. It's wonderful, man. I need to give me something like that. I've been on Instagram looking at dashikis and some more stuff.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Where you been finding some at?
Man, I haven't found any like locally. I know they got some somewhere. I know it was a place that used to sell stuff like that, but a lot of places still ain't open. So I just went on Instagram, man, started looking up like African attire, Kente, dashiki, stuff like that. And so I found this. It's like a black men's thread or whatever, and it's got like, you know, African garb, African attire, like African inspired clothing or whatever. So I'm gonna order me some stuff out there, start rocking.
Hey, so why do they call it Kente cloth? I think I was slick be offended.
No,
like,
you know,
Kunta
somebody.
Kente?
Well, that was Kunta Kente. You know, that's his African name. So I wouldn't be offended by that unless somebody white came up with it. You know, it'd have been different if they called it Toby cloth. If they had called it Toby cloth, then we'd have a problem. But fortunately, it's called Kente. It'd been different. If they had called it Toby, we'd be burning some more stuff down.
Oh man.
Yeah, if it say Toby cloth, no, don't get that. If it say Kente, you good.
Man, on that note, what's good?
What is good? We already started. We already acting up.
What's good? I am your host, Jason JWILLDOES. And I got my guy, this funny nigga right here. Ivan, the Grizzly, the Great. Man. And we are the Off on the Tangent podcast.
Yes, we are.
For real talk, where the hell I get Kente cloth from, man?
So now that you brought it up, now that you said it, of course, Mr. Bookworm, I gotta go and look this John up.
You gotta go down the rabbit hole real quick.
Yeah, I gotta go down the rabbit hole real quick and look this John up to make sure.
I just thought to ask that, like, who thought of Kente cloth?
Well, you know,
it actually crossed my mind when I seen them do the kneeling up at the Supreme Court with Pelosi and Biden and all of them, and it was like they have the Kente cloth. I'm like, why do they call it Kente cloth?
Okay, hold on, I just googled it. All right, so here we go. Kente cloth has its origin from the Akan Ashanti kingdoms in Ghana. The origin of Kente is in the Akan Empire of Bonoman. Most Akans migrated out of the area that was Bonoman to create various states. The Uwe people of Ghana claim that they originated Kente weaving. They don't claim to have invented the art of weaving, but they claim to have invented the actual original Kente weave. So it's West African in origin, and the colors, there's black, blue, green, gold, gray, maroon, pink, purple, red, silver, white, yellow, and all of the different colors have various meanings attached to them. And yeah, so, and then it just kind of discusses some of the aspects of it, the modern uses of it. I wore Kente. Of course, I graduated from an HBCU. Shout out to Lamona College, Memphis, Tennessee. We wore Kente. Everybody that graduates from HBCU, they have Kente cloth, a Kente stole rather, when you graduated from an HBCU. So, and I even think now that I've seen some people that graduated from some PWIs are wearing a Kente stole as well when they graduate. So it's just, it's a symbol, basically a symbol of ethnic pride that is originated out of West Africa. So it's kind of a little bit of the background for you. Most recently, controversially, or I would say controversy attached to when the Congressional Black Caucus okayed the Democratic Party white folks to wear Kente and kneel, which I thought was little sketchy.
And
Yeah, I think they should have left it. I like chicken. They might, man.
And watermelon. Pretty much.
Yeah, they pretty much. Yeah. Congressional Black Caucus. Yeah, y'all gotta take the L for that one, because there's no reason why Nancy Pelosi should have been kneeling with a Kente cloth wrapped around her face and her. Yeah, this. Just don't think that was good look. Don't think it was good look. We're not gonna dwell on it, but just don't think that was a good look. Yeah,
I think we were kind of impressed, but yeah, it kind of. I'm like,
yeah, some stuff just. I think now.
I wish I had 4 hands. Get it 4 thumbs down.
Man, hey, I think this is a time in which I think, and people like us, podcasters, black media in general, really has to be subjective about these things, but also has to call them out right now and say, hey, maybe you thought it was a good idea, but it probably wasn't. Nice try, but don't do that again. Like, some things belong in the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, some stuff stays in the family. Like, you shouldn't invite everybody to the cookout. Like, family reunions are for family, not for your partner's cousin's auntie that live down the street, because their last name ain't yours. It's for the family tree. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna walk down the street with a Williams family reunion T-shirt on, because I'm not. My last name ain't Williams. You see what I'm saying?
Come through. You should really make a pumpkin pie. That would be great. You be like, bitch, I never didn't nobody ask for you. You and your own baking recipes. It's sweet potato pie over here. But side note, pumpkin pie is pretty good.
I don't understand what the big problem with pumpkin pie is. Pumpkin pie is not bad. Like, it's not bad. It's
not at all.
It's not bad at all.
It tastes pretty much like sweet potato pie.
It doesn't taste a whole lot. It doesn't
just seasoned the same. It's just pumpkin pie.
Yeah, some people they're probably gonna cuss you out for that one. But I really don't disagree with you. I really don't disagree with you about that. So I don't know, man. What's good, man? What's on the mentals for today, man?
Man, the mentals. It's been pretty good, I would have to say. I've been in an emotion. I would have to say I've been in an emotional state. I don't know, man. Nigga just been shedding tears for no reason or whatever. My son gave me a Father's Day card and a little gift card, and I was like,
hey, man. I'm gonna tell you.
I was like, Dave Chappelle, you came for my balls, son. You came for my balls. Oh, the joy.
Man said he was impressed because it's like, this nigga came on my balls. Hey, man, Father's Day was
a lot of times you don't really get appreciated or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You get forgot about or whatever like that. And just some fact, the people who reached out was like, hey, happy Father's Day. Same people who I would reach out to, they reciprocated that, whatever. I was like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel the love. I feel the embraces. But how was it for you?
Man, same thing, man. Like,
and we had the Juneteenth, you know, so.
Yeah. You know what, man? I was thinking about that, Jay, and it was almost like
it put you in a good mood.
Yeah, it was almost like the stars aligned for Blackness this past weekend. And what I mean by that is, with everybody celebrating, I've seen so many people like celebrate Juneteenth and really learn the origin of Juneteenth and talk about it. It's been open dialogue. I haven't seen a whole lot of people like fussing and fighting about it. It's been a lot of open dialogue. If you celebrate it, you know, if you hadn't celebrated before, if this is your first time, if you didn't celebrate it this time, how you plan to do it next year, whatever the case is. There's been a lot of good dialogue going on about it.
Don't celebrate the 4th.
Yeah.
Don't celebrate the 4th.
And I've seen people say, we ain't celebrating no 4th. Like, we all work, but we ain't celebrating. And I've seen that, and it's really been encouraging. And I think right after, in the same weekend, Father's Day taking place, and in particular for Black fathers, it was very special. because a lot of people reached out. A lot of people said, "Hey, happy Father's Day. You're doing a good job. You know, no matter how tough it gets, hey, you're needed. You're appreciated." In particular, I received a lot of love from my brothers, you, other guys. We exchanged, you know, happy Father's Day, man. Keep doing your thing, bro, blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
and also is equally as important, a lot of black women, a lot of our women said, "Hey, you're doing a good job. You're appreciated. Keep doing your thing." You know what I'm saying? And what I got from that was, in just a moment of transparency, you know, I didn't get that from my kid's mom. And it's not a knock on her or whatever. I wasn't really expecting it, but I didn't get it from her. But I got it from my sisters, my mom, friends of the family, classmates, people, other women that I know say, "Hey, you're doing a good job. Happy Father's Day. You know, you deserve a day with your feet up, whatever." So that was I felt that love. You know
Is
what I'm
that the
saying? I
reason why
really,
you posted a picture of your shoes, nigga?
what that got to do with what I just said? My talk
You was
about my
like,
shoes.
because you need to have your feet up.
No. Your dashiki too tight around your neck or something, man. You just cutting off oxygen to your brain.
No, sir.
You need to loosen that joint up, because you must have got it from the side. That's the joint that John Witherspoon had on the "I'm gonna get you sucker."
What? What?
No, not John Witherspoon. Clarence Williams III. You know, yeah, I see you. I see you. You the black dude with the white wife, the fake. Yeah, I see you. Yep. That's what it is. That's what it is. As soon as you get out this podcast, you gonna call your white girlfriend and call her your Nubian queen. I see through. See. Yep. See.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, sir.
I see. Yeah. You gonna
No,
call
sir.
your Nubian queen, knowing she went to Collierville High School. She graduated from Collierville High School in 2003.
Hey,
And you call her your Nubian queen.
she was Italian. She was Italian.
Like that make it better. It's still European, and you call her Nubian. You like, if somebody come and ask you, "Hey man, we got to stick together." You like, "Yeah, we got to stand together. Yeah, we got to fight together." I don't know about all that fighting. Yeah.
No,
Nah,
sir.
man. Just got a lot of love, man. From, I say the family. I refer to us as the family, because we should be handling ourselves as more so now than ever before. We should
Right.
be handling ourselves as family. Like, we really do have to stick together now. Like, and that negativity, like, anytime I see people talking negative about black folks, about us and stuff, I'm like, hey man, it ain't time for that. Like, if you got and that's why I said, like, the whole downing of black women, the whole downing of women, black women downing black men and all that other type of stuff. And I said this on a post the other day. I'm like, hey, because you got a personal issue with somebody that happens to be black, that should not apply to everybody that's black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got problems with your baby mama, that's between you and your baby mama. You got problems with your baby daddy, that's between you and your baby daddy. You got problems with your sister, that's between you and your sister. You got problems with your brothers, between you. It should not be a blanketed, "Oh, black folks always doing." No, just your cousin doing that. That's your cousin. That ain't everybody. You know what I'm saying? Your cousin trifling. Okay, deal with your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I feel about that. And like I said, man, it's been a great weekend, great start to the week. And shout out to all the dads, the uncles, the grandpas, the father figures, teachers, the coaches, whoever, man, that stepped up and being an example to the kids, and being a support, to the black family. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Now, while all that being said, with all the love and it's been some bullshit going on.
Oh, it has. That's normal. That you gonna see that.
Been some bullshit going on.
You gonna see that. I'm gonna let you start out because it's some yeah.
Where do you want to start? You know,
Well,
it's a list. It's a list of things that I gave. Where do you want to start?
Well, first thing I'll start with, because I was looking at it today, is the noose that was found in Bubba Wallace's locker area at NASCAR. So first things first is white people are angry, are mad, you know. And when I say white people, I'm not speaking in general, but I'm talking about so you have to understand, like, and this is for the listeners and the viewers, when we say white folks, we talking about white folks who don't like what's going on. That's who we talking about. They are upset and mad, right? Because
they're on their shame.
Because there you go. And so now they're being, they have to pay attention to people that are gaining pride in the sense of the knowledge of self. So it's upsetting. So we're going to do what we used to do, right? We're going to try to scare you. We're going to do stuff like that. And I appreciate the way Richard Petty, because Bubba Wallace is actually one of Richard Petty's drivers. And, Richard Petty is one of the greatest NASCAR drivers, probably I would say maybe he might be the greatest ever or one of the greatest ever. And, I like his statement. He was like, man, I'm going to be there for my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to show up to the race and I'm going to have his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is uncalled for. This is unnecessary. We ain't going to deal with this. And so the other thing, though, that I look at, I got to give NASCAR a side eye. Y'all know who put that noose in there. Because those
now,
NASCAR...
They said it wasn't no cameras, and they said that... To me, I think it might be somebody on his team.
You think so? It may be now.
I mean, because of the simple fact how they said how tight security is already on the lot and on the garage, and with the coronavirus around, is even tighter. So they say. So I'm like, if that's the case, it has to be somebody on the team or somebody within NASCAR, like one of the drivers.
Right.
Like, didn't the driver just quit?
Yeah, because he said he wasn't gone. He was a nobody. Like, he was a nobody racer.
So it could be that dude.
Yeah, it could have been him. It could, and that's the thing. Like, when white folks aren't able to just do what they want to do, they get mad and they act out like kids, basically. Because what it is that privilege puts you in a situation. Because
they banned the Confederate flag. I'm sorry, my bad.
No, you good. And you going right where I was going. When they ban the flag, it's like, oh, you gonna ban the flag? Oh, these black folks think they something now because people paying attention to their problems. Well, this is my country. I do what I want to, and you remember when you shared with me earlier, I know we'll discuss that in a minute, what Tanisha Cole said about using the word nigga. Like, why would a white person want to use it? Like, why would they want to say it? Oh, because of privilege. Oh, we can't say it, but you can, because they're used to doing what they want to do. Like, they're not used to having to check themselves for anything. You know what I'm saying? So obviously,
they're not used to being told no. Go look at a white child. You tell a white child no in the grocery store. What happens?
They fall out. No.
And they let them do it. Man, that happened to a black child. That will happen one time. One time. Your mom and your dad gonna give you that look like. Oh, so that's what we doing. We embarrassing people off up in the stores.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and get it out. Go ahead and get it out. Wait till we get to the house.
or
you gonna get embarrassed in the store.
F and say, oh, so you gonna act a fool right now? Okay, I'm gonna act a
the fool
fool.
with you then. Let's act the fool together. Let's act the fool together. Let's act the fool together, Negro. Man, that bell come out like this. She-Ra. Hey,
Man.
your mama got that reach like Scorpion. Get
Man.
over here.
Man. Hey.
Oh man.
Look. She take her fingers and grab a piece of that meat on your back and twist, boy, like right under your right.
Or this
Ooh,
part
man,
right here.
this part. Oh my God, man, you think your whole life flash forward, man, grab that piece on the back of your arm and twist, and you be like, yes, man. You say something? You gonna act a fool in here? Huh? Something wrong with you? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. My arm is broke. No, it's not. It ain't broke. It ain't broke. It ain't broke. You want me to break it? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't want you to break it. I don't want you. And that's it. And then gonna tell you to stop all that crying. What you crying for?
Right.
What you crying for? And you gonna stop. And then you gonna sit there and act like people can walk up to you. Hey, little guy, how you doing? You be like right here. Then they be like, did you hear him talking to you? I'm okay. The white kids. Right. Come on, Timmy. Come on, Timmy. Just stop it. Calm yourself down. You need a timeout.
They negotiate.
Come on, Timmy. Just calm yourself down. You shouldn't do that. You need to meditate.
I'll let you open the bag of chips now.
Yep, that's what it be. That's what it be. They be wanting to eat their food in the store.
Dude, no. Now I'm having to go get a whole nother bag just because you eating the bag of chips.
Come on, calm down. Just calm down. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Ah, mama, you stupid. You ugly. You crazy. No, don't say that. That's not nice. And man, look, now they can't do that and get away with it because I mean, folks getting checked in public now. Like real talk. Like I was in the grocery store and this white dude got a little bit too close in the line to this black lady behind her.
That has always been a violation. I don't know why white people don't understand that.
Man, bro was going to go through self-checkout. And before I knew it, it was 3 people on him. Because, you know, they got the little stickers on the floor that tell you where to stop at now. Right? For social distancing. So he's walking and he stopped, but he just he kind of kept inching closer to her. And you know how you can feel somebody close to you. And she had her little basket and she kind of turned around and looked. She said, "Excuse me." And so he was acting like he was on his phone. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And she was like, "Excuse me." And she turned back around and he just kind of inched forward. Before I knew it, man, a guy that was walking through was like, "Hey, man, hey, did you hear what she said?" And he was like, oh, what? He was like, "You too close to her. This is called social distancing. You need to move back." And so
I ain't never like this shit.
Then we stand there looking at. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'll move back." And everybody was like, "We guess you will." And he didn't say a word until everybody got through that line. He didn't say nothing else. I was like, man, look at this. Because I remember a time where nobody would have said anything. You know, maybe somebody would have said something, you know, or people would have just got out, you know, she would have probably just got out of the line and moved on. No, she was like, "Excuse me." And then the guy walked through. He was coming about his bag. He was like, "Hey, man, hey." She said, "Can you move back? You too close." And then somebody else was like, hey, move. And so he was like, I think I'm gonna get jumped. Let me let me let me get back. So yeah, man, to your point, they're upset, they're acting out. This is their response to not being the center of attention and not being able to get their way. I think we're gonna see more of it. This is not, it's not gonna stop. We're gonna see more of it for years to
All these
come.
Karens
Yeah,
popping up.
yeah,
You like,
Karen's,
dude.
Karen's popping up. I suspect, I suspect, and I'll say this, even in job situations, you're gonna see
Dude.
more. You're gonna see more of that. More complaints. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, and it's really just gonna expose who was really racist in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Who been hiding behind policy and procedure, and the HR stuff. So, but I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think they need to be exposed, and I think they need to act out so we can know exactly who they are.
I agree. Now, when they expose themselves and show you who they are, what do? You talking about, do you just distance yourself from them, or?
No, not anymore. No, I think we deal with them straight up now. We used to distance ourselves and kind of back away from the situation, but I think there's a time where you address them and say, hey, you need to cut it out. Like, you gonna have as many problems as I got. You know what I'm saying? This is the time to call it out and be like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't like what I'm doing, maybe you need to go get another job, or maybe you need to get out of this group, or maybe you need to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't going nowhere. We've been here all the time anyway. You know what I'm saying? And in situations like, with corporate stuff, what are you going to complain about? Like, what's the big deal? And then too, like, even with the, the whole Karens calling the police for everything, in my opinion, like, it's going to get to a point where these folks calling the police, like, they're, is, and I think what's going to have to happen is
They should catch charges.
that's what I was going to say. They're going to start rolling some legislation through.
Because that's falsifying the police report.
But that's what I was going to say. And because, it's like, you calling the police on some kids outside playing in their own yard? Right. What you calling us for? Like, what's this all about? So when people start to get the backlash that they should get for stuff like that, and when they start losing money, they need to start hitting folks with fines, and they need to start hitting them with big fines for calling police for mess and BS. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's gonna take legal action. It's gonna take legislation to really pull that off. But that needs to happen. Because if I call police right now and say, hey, somebody outside stealing my car, right? And I know I drove my car off a cliff myself. Mm-hmm. When they find out I drove my car, because I'm just doing it to try to get the insurance money, and they find out I drove my own car off the cliff, I'm getting charged. Like, I'm getting charged. Like, did nobody do that? Oh, right. Three black men with white t-shirts on and jeans stole my vehicle. You know what I'm saying? So, I believe that's gonna start happening. So, what do you think about the conversation about defunding the police, and then the police, and what is it? Is it? I forgot where it was. They calling in sick.
What they calling in sick.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
So they got something what they call the blue flu going on, I guess, down there in Atlanta. So half of the police force have been calling in sick. And now, from my knowledge, I haven't been hearing any as far as like crime spiking in the midst of this. But it ain't. I guess this is them standing in solidarity for the police officers going to jail. And I'm like, dude, I mean, like, man, y'all out here, like, y'all out here acting crazy, man. Y'all wilding out, and you don't expect to, like, okay. Now, I think all of those who's calling in sick for whatever reason, them niggas should be fired.
I think every last
Because you know exactly what you're doing when you're doing that, and the reason why you're doing it for. All right, bye. I'll holler. I don't need your type on this force anyway. Deuce. We can get some better people to replace you. Deuce.
See,
holler.
That's when because I was looking up this. I was trying to look up the article. I was trying to look up the article about it. I guess I'll find it in a minute. But I think what that's going to do is that's going to create opportunities for our own to actually say, hey, okay, well, let me go be a cop, right? Not me per se, but some of the younger people that say, okay, I'm tired of seeing, right, let me police my own area. So let me go and become a cop and do this the right way. Because obviously they weren't doing it to serve and protect anyway. They were just doing it for a job. And see, that was something that had been talked about. And I think we probably talked about it on an earlier podcast about police and there's a mental, psychological makeup of a police officer. And there's an environmental aspect of it too. Because police need to be as familiar with the areas that they police as if I sell rims and car, if I have a rim shop in a stereo shop, right? If I work there, I need to know how to put rims on a truck, right? I need to know how to put a stereo in the car.
At least know how to, yeah.
At least know how to.
You ain't got to do it, but you know how to. Yeah.
But if I own it, if I'm a manager there, I may not do the actual work all the time, but I need to know and be familiar with the products that I'm selling. And when people come in and ask me questions and I'm providing service for them, I need to be familiar with what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? If I get elected to a position as if I'm working in the mayor's office, or if I'm becoming a senator or a congressman in a particular state, I need to be familiar with that state. Like I should live there. You know what I'm saying? How can I serve the people there and I don't know the people there? So when we come to local government, your police, your fire, if firemen if they don't know the area, they don't know how to get to the fires and stop them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure they have GPS and all that kind of stuff. But if the GPS goes out, the fireman can say, hey, man, I know where this place is on Union. I used to live over here near this area. Take this street right here, make this cut down. We can get down here and save these people, right?
Right.
Police should be familiar with the people that they serve in order to have the right relationship. Because my thing is this, and I think we talked about this before too. When it comes to crime, when we talk about crime and particularly in black cities, in black communities, why is it that we don't talk more about crime prevention as we talk about crime control, right? Because the conversation should be about prevention, right?
Right.
Preventing crimes from happening instead of how many people got arrested and put in jail. No, how can we prevent the crimes from happening? So what do we need to do? Do we put these big blue cameras up everywhere so people can be like, oh, it's a camera, I ain't gonna do nothing? Or do we need to go into the schools when the kids are 8, 9, 10 years old and talk to them about not stealing from people, how to be respectful, whatever? Or last thing I'll say, and you take over.
If only you knew that those cameras was a crock of shit.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it for me. So
them
they're
sky
just
cameras. This just a flash. It's just as a big ass flashing blue light that niggas is paying for.
Yeah.
Ain't no camera in there.
Yeah, because people still.
You know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud.
Well, I think it's too late, sir. You already said.
Right, my bad.
So, or do you create programs that give people jobs so they won't be depressed and they won't be mad and upset all the time, and they
All right,
won't.
so
Go
okay,
ahead.
glad you make mention of that, because I've always tried to figure out, and I know it will be useful, and it should just be in like every little neighborhood, which is sometimes kids need to vent, get out their stress, whatever like that. There should be like some type
Right.
of boxing gyms around here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
there are enough empty spaces around each popular neighborhood. Like there's I know several empty spaces in the Haven. I know several little empty spaces over in Westwood. I know several little different empty spaces where you can set up a little spot where kids can go and practice boxing, or you know what I'm saying? And two, how many kids really know how to defend themselves?
Right.
Hell, how many of us parents know how to defend ourselves?
Right.
Shit, you can both go there together and just learn some self-defense moves or whatever.
Right.
It don't have to be it don't always have to be karate. It could just be something as simple as boxing. And a lot of time boxing, from my knowledge, usually they're non-profits, and you can just go in there and just box.
Work out, and box.
Yeah. So it's just some things just as simple as that. More just some type of, I think we need to have more and embrace more creative projects.
Yeah,
I don't think kids, I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna say they don't embrace their creative side, but a lot of times they're so focused on wanting to be on their iPads, they're on the video games, things like that, that it's suppressing their creativity a lot of times. So I just think just more little programs like that in the neighborhood, not some shit that you got to go all the way out in Cordova.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It needs to be it needs to be walking distance from where they live.
Yes.
Yep. And I think the other thing they complained about, remember years ago, the fights and stuff that broke out, like when people were out hooping. And remember, they went and took down all the rims at one point in time. I don't know if you remember that. Like back in like the mid 2000s, they took down all the rims, like throughout the whole city, where nobody could play ball nowhere. I was like, why would they do that? Well, people get fight, they get to fight and shoot no basketball game. And I'm like, well, that's not at every place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get to fighting and shooting over anything, like at any point in time. And I think what happened was when they did that, they escalated it in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Because hooping gave kids an outlet. I mean, you and I both know that. So again, like having that outlet to release the aggression, to release the energy. And I agree with you. Boxing, I think, is a great idea. Like, is a wonderful idea. You know what I'm saying?
And hell, even if you do have the basketball courts and they're open late at night, make sure you have cameras around that area right there to make sure if crime is happening in that area, to keep crime down. That way, a person can feel safer to go at 12 o'clock at night because they feel like venting and they want to play basketball.
Right.
Or they can go at any time of the afternoon and play, and they can feel safe there. I mean, there has to be safe zones where you can go and have a nice time to play within your area. It's crazy that you can't feel safe and don't want to go someplace where you can have fun or vent or whatever in your own fucking neighborhood. I refuse to believe that you got to go 30, 40 minutes just to go have some fun, my nigga.
Man, that was the killer thing about back in the day, going to driving all the way out to Germantown to go to Bellevue Baptist to play ball because the gym in your neighborhood was closed, or either, you know what I'm saying, they would only let so many people in there at a time or something like that. And you had to drive all the way out to Germantown. You had to drive all the way out to East Memphis somewhere to find a gym to go hoop at. And it was like the other gyms
you had to
closed.
drive all the way to Halle Stadium to play outside.
You go all the way to Halle Stadium, play outside, and slip and slide for an hour.
Them slippery ass courts,
Right. And you know what I'm saying? Like, who came up with the idea to put them courts down like that anyway? And I was like, they did this on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so, you know, when you have a place that, first of all, every city, in particular black cities, always have something culturally attached to what people like to do. So Memphis has always been a basketball city, right?
Yes.
At some point in time, city leadership should have taken notice of that and said, you know what, since kids here, like, we grow basketball players here, like, it's normal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why not make sure that the courts in the areas are safe, like you said, safe, not you know, policed heavy, but have a police presence.
I always have a police officer patrolling that neighborhood.
Patrolling their neighborhood, patrolling their area. He knows everybody. He's cool with everybody. They know him. He knows them. He can communicate to them and tell them, hey, don't y'all be going there doing this stuff. Don't even think about it before you start. Have it organized. They go and play. They get better. You have 3 or 4 kids maybe going to playing overseas, going to the league, whatever. Or they monitor the younger kids. They come out and play. I mean, that's what the essence of what community center was supposed to be.
It would be more activity happening within the neighborhood, wanting to stay in the neighborhood, playing basketball, playing football amongst each other or whatever like that.
Right.
I refuse to believe that in our mindset, you have to go out there to do that.
Right. And mainly because it was associated with the other neighborhoods had better equipment and a better gym and a better court and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what was always associated with. Well, me, myself, personally, I grew up playing at the Boys and Girls Club, grew up playing at Pine Hill Community Center, you know, playing at Beth LaBelle. So it was like, you know, that's where the hooper was going on at. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's where the real hoopers was at, right? So, but you went
I get it. I used to play out in the Germantown Center. I played with Jason Williams and Paul Gasol before they made it big and all that other type of stuff.
Right.
So I get that. You get to see different people rub up.
Right.
Cool, I get it. But the flow was still the same.
Yeah, it was still the same. It was still the same.
The floor was still the same, as opposed. I mean, the floor at the YMCA in the Haven.
Yep.
Is the same at the Germantown Center.
Yep.
They just got more lights.
Man, look, they just got more. They just got more lights. That's it. And
more lights.
And you can play in your community. You can play at 1 o'clock in the morning. They're just close at 8 o'clock. And then you got to drive all the way back to Orange Mountain or wherever you came from. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, people opening up the high schools and stuff, you can go play in there was cool until folks started getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? For opening up the gyms or whatever. So,
and I'm put like this. I'm not going to be foolish and say this as if crime does not exist in these areas, but
right, because it does.
I'm just saying, if you start caring about your area and other people start showing that they care about your area, people are going to be more reluctant on doing things because you give a fuck about your area.
Because you do. That's true. That's true. And that's on GP. That's anywhere.
Once somebody starts showing they care about their house, I put like this perfect example. I finally got my roof fixed on my house.
Mm-hmm.
When I got my roof fixed on my house, it wasn't even 2 weeks later, I don't believe. Maybe a month. My next door neighbor was getting her roof fixed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, okay, I got to go ahead and do blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
That whole roof fix, y'all looking a certain way to keep everything else look up to par.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Neighbors,
Yep.
they newly neighbors, roof fixed.
Yep.
Once you start showing that you care, other people around you will start showing that they care as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
people
why.
ain't gonna be quick to fuck up nice shit because they see it's nice over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. That's true, man.
Like the houses over in the Haven or the houses over in Twinkletown when it used to be Twinkletown. Wasn't nobody too quick to do no dirt over there because it was Twinkletown.
And
them houses still look the same right
yep,
now.
they sure do.
Go down Elvis Presley in the Haven, and them houses still look nice. Wasn't nobody quick to do no crimes over there.
Because they take pride. They took pride in what they had and what they have. They took pride and they still take pride in it. So
Exactly.
if I'm looking for some dirt to do, I'm looking for it to do it in a place where I get through in there quick. Because oh man, they ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna care. They don't care about. Let me roll up here and man, go and break this one and steal this stuff out this car right quick. Like they don't care. Don't nobody care about this stuff over here anyway. And then you pull up to your corner stores and your gas stations and stuff. That's why, man, I think there needs to be an ordinance in place for gas stations, corner stores, any type of fast food, because they need to clean up the outside. You know what I'm saying? Make it look presentable because you're going to attract the element that you set your establishment up at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, you're going to have folks standing outside big and you're going to have folks standing outside looking all in your car and all that type of stuff because the establishment itself, it looks run down, and a lot of these foreigners that own it.
It's only lit at your gas station. Then as soon as you go after it's pitch black, nigga. I know I'm finna get robbed here. No, no, sir, no, sir.
Hey, man. Hey, you need me to pump your gas for you? They looking out in your window like this right here. You need me to pump your gas for you? No, I'm straight, bro. I will run out of gas if I let you pump my gas.
No.
That's a negative.
Negative.
Negatron. Hey, the man, Negatron. So just to kind of switch a little bit. I know you had some more stuff that we had on the topic list. So we talked about the Bubba Wallace thing. We talked about community policing. What are your thoughts? Because
I think that blue flu is bullshit. But
yeah, that definitely, it definitely is. And I think
if you are in support of that, if you are in support of that bullshit,
yeah, because I think that's gonna come back to bite them later. I really do. But yeah, so this is what do you think about the what is it the folks that I think it was the Zoomers. God, I had it. I'm looking for it again. But they essentially reserved all these seats at the Trump rally. So people went to
TikTokers.
Yeah, the TikTokers. Yeah.
I just peeped that before we got on. They got a whole lot of rally tickets.
Yeah.
To take up a whole lot of seats, and then they didn't show up. Somebody said the TikTokers 50 Cent 50 Cent did to JWILLDOES. Bought all these concert tickets in the front row and the front row was empty at the concert. Oh man, the TikTokers, boy.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
going. I'm not in support of TikTok, but that group,
Yep.
So Trump was hot.
Man, that boy was so mad because I'm reading it here. It says the TikTokers and K-pop fans they spreaded the registration information on social media, and with notes encouraging people to sign up without going. And so they said that's what they did, and they just kept putting the video out there, and it cycled through, and and then they didn't show up.
Right. Did not show up. I was like, okay.
That boy was fire hot. That boy was fire hot. That boy was fire hot.
But at the same time, dude, I'm looking at CNN and they were saying that they had staffers there that already had the coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
They tested positive and they were there.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the other.
Man, the folks at the rally was in droves, my nigga. They was in droves, no masks, no gloves. Yeah, I'm like, dude, man, y'all wilding out here.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So now people can stop people can stop the narrative that the Negroes are all out in droves with no mask. If you saw that rally, like you mentioned, the whites are not wearing masks either. A lot of them are not wearing masks.
Now, unfortunately, there were a few.
So, I have here, I'll say this is a moment in cool.
Face ass nigga, shit.
Woo-wee! We sure is tired. We got to show up to this here rallies and support Boss, cause he been good to us. Ain't that right, Herman Cain? Ain't that right, Candace Owens? Woo, we sure is here. Oh, yes, sir.
Dude. Dude, as you say that, how you're saying it, have you seen this clip of Howard Stern in blackface?
No, I heard about it. I ain't seen it. Oh my God.
He is in blackface, and he in blackface impersonating Ted Danson in blackface, and Sherman Hemsley is playing Whoopi Goldberg. My nigga. He said nigga like 12 times in this joint.
That must have been from some years ago or something. That must be, you said Sherman Hemsley, so that was when Sherman Hemsley was alive, or
it was when he was alive, yeah. I was like, dude, I sent it to you. That's why I said you'll be scrolling up when I send you stuff.
Oh, that must have been the one I missed. I must have missed that.
Dude.
I got to go back and watch. But you know, Howard Stern has gotten away with murder for years. Howard Stern has traditionally got away with stuff that black folks have been taken off the air for. And that's why, I don't know if you saw that movie or not that he did, because, you know, the black lady I
just got to pause and say, when you see it is cringe worthy.
Cringe worthy, okay. I mean, I'm not surprised, because the shock jock has traditionally, again, I've wondered why, and there's a reason for it, I'm sure, how he was able to get away with the stuff that he got away with for the amount of time that he got away with it. There's no way Tom Joyner could have got away with that. There's no way Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, there's no way that any black disc jockeys, the video jockeys or whatever would have been able to get away with what that dude got away with for years. Like this man, like literally, he literally did a lot of racist, sexist, misogynistic stuff, and they called it entertainment. And then they gave him the label of shock jock.
Right.
It's like, it was basically kind of like that was his permission to act a complete fool at will. So I wasn't surprised I'm really not surprised by that. I never saw it, but I'm, until now, like now we're talking about it. But of course, back then, so a lot of the stuff that they did, you only saw what they put out on the show.
I bet you now that it has resurfaced, all you have to do is do a search, Howard Stern blackface, or Howard Stern blackface Sherman Hemsley. I bet you that video comes straight on there.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it will.
I'm like, dude, it was, when I say cringe worthy, I'm like, say nigga one more time, man.
See, man.
I'm like, say nigga one more time, my nigga.
See,
say
man.
It one more time. And then he'll be like, you know what? What's his sidekick? What's her name? She was
Robin.
on there. Robin. She'll be on there and she's like, oh, okay, that's enough. I think you said enough. He was like, you know what? Fuck you, nigga. You know, like, see, okay, all right, man, all right. And then for good measure, he said it 2 more times. I'm telling you, he on that John saying like it was like 21 times he says this joint. I'm like, hey, dude.
See, man, I would have not been able to sit on there with him and not punch him in the face. I wouldn't have been able to do that.
And it wasn't like it wasn't even like it was good humor. It wasn't, all right, you know what? Perfect example. You know how like Dave Chappelle got off with the nigger family. The white people were saying,
yeah,
they saying nigger, but
the way he
was saying, the way it was said, it was still funny. This, no,
yeah,
at all.
Because I'm looking for it now. I'm not surprised that Stern did that. I also believe again that Howard Stern had some type of pass. Like there was something that it was a reason why he was able to get away with what he got away with. You know what I'm saying? There was a reason for that. Like it had to be a reason for that. And because like the stuff that because I used to watch Howard Stern show sometimes, and I was like, man,
I was like, man, I don't see how he got any of this off.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
I thought for sure he was about to get canceled.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this dude show is not gonna be on for like. There's no way he can get away with this stuff, and he stayed on for a long time. Made millions of dollars off that show. You know what I mean? So that was the interesting thing for me. Like, how can this dude get away with this? And they gave him he's the shock jock. You know, he purposely said stuff and whatever just to get people riled up. But, I personally think he's a racist. I think that, the black lady Robin on his show was a token. No disrespect to her at all, but
go all the way to Thursday in your DMs.
Okay. I personally think that, she was way more intelligent. There's a lot more she could have been doing than being on that show with him. I mean, in all honesty, because I remember him even making comments about her, like,
yes,
you know what I'm saying, like telling her to show her boobs and stuff and all that type of stuff. She would just kind of laugh it off and be like, "Oh, Howard, ha ha ha, I'm not doing that." But I used to be like, like, if this lady, like, if that was my wife or something, or my sister or my mama, I'd have been coming up on the show, knocking on the door. Hey, I need to go see this. I need to go see my mom in the studio doing her break, and I go in there and punch him right in his face.
Right.
Like he would say disrespectful stuff to her too. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey,
then
this is just comedy. I'm just being. This is
yeah,
just jokes. Like
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
nah,
Like nah,
nah.
bro, nah, bro, nah, bro, nah. Hold up,
It was right after that John I sent you about that Siri shortcut about if you're getting pulled over.
yeah.
Which I don't know how I feel about that. Like I get it. I think it's a dope idea, but at the same time, I see some other privacy issues with that too.
Of course. And while we're on that, about so the thing that you sent me about.
And what I'm talking about, Siri has a new feature
Yeah.
on your phone where if you're getting pulled over, you can just say, "Hey Siri, I'm getting pulled over," and
Right.
it will start a series of things all at one time simultaneously on your phone. I want to say it'll start recording. It turns your camera on. It starts sending a file to the emergency person that you have in your phone. And then it will send something to the cloud. And then after a certain amount of time, it will send that message from the cloud to this person's phone. Automatically, nothing else for your phone to do or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, I think that's cool. I think that's kind of dope. But this junk probably can be activated at any point in time and just be saving stuff to the cloud.
Exactly. And I think that's probably not a good idea.
Right.
So this this isn't actually this ain't this is when he was on this is when he had his show in DC. So okay, now I see it. So he did it twice. He did it twice. He did it twice.
I think 3 times.
Yeah. So this is him. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Black hole. What do I love most about the whoopee? Yeah. Great timing. Hey, Robin, what does you call a black rocket scientist?
I don't know.
A nigga. Whoopee rolling. Hey, did you happen to notice this?
No, what is
this
that?
This my mother, Mama dancing. She done work in blackface too.
She must be very proud.
Yeah. Now I know you really love me, Ted. You the man. I tell you, you the man. What done happened to Sherman's career? It's really over there. I want you to give us a kiss, you smelly cockhead coon. I love it.
May I say something here?
Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want, you smelly nigga.
I'm like, keep talking, dude.
Whoopi had no chance to write it. I don't accept that kind of language. You can call her whatever you want, but you don't talk to me that way or I'll leave.
Well, don't let the door hit you on your big black ass, mama, on the way out of here. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Now, Whoopi, you is a filthy nigga.
You guys, I was gonna say, man, you guys stop this, man.
Oh yeah, he did it 3 times.
Yeah. I was like, man, this man is wilding. He's in blackface. Okay, mind you, I'll put it like this. In context, he is playing Ted Danson.
Right. As Whoopi Goldberg's
Dancing husband in blackface. Because Ted Danson did blackface.
Wow. Wow.
So he's doing Ted Danson in blackface and saying these things, wilding out. But in his case, I'm sure he was saying, "Oh, I was just playing Ted Danson that was acting this part out." Now, my nigga, you saying this?
I see why you say it's cringeworthy.
I
That
wanted
was
you to stop it.
sickening.
I wanted you to stop. I was like, okay, he can go ahead and stop this.
That was sickening.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And you know so I was finna go somewhere else, but what's even more sickening is the fact that Sherman Hemsley, which we know Sherman Hemsley, you know, he was gay. You know, rest in peace, Sherman Hemsley.
Rest in peace.
So I had to take a second because now I'm mad. Like, I'm really mad. Like, I'm extremely angry right now. The fact that Sherman Hemsley sat beside this white boy, dressed like a woman, and allowed this man to disrespect a black woman and disrespect an entire, and him.
Cause he got out calling the man a coon at the same time.
Like,
and saying, look what happened to his career. And followed it by calling him a coon. I was like, man, dude.
it was sickening. Like, I have no like, I have no words. Like, I have no words. I don't have no words.
But okay.
And he did this on 3 separate occasions.
Now, mind you, I ain't gonna say I don't want to keep, but I have white friends, and I don't want to be so adamant about the things that I talk about to make them feel as if I don't like white people. What I do not like are people outside of the culture who acts like none of this bullshit exists and people act this way.
Right.
Is the thing that I am speaking on.
Right.
Because I got a lot of white friends who speak as like, man, that shit is dumb as hell. Hey,
right.
We cool. It is the people who try to get. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
My nigga, you 40 years old. My nigga, you 50 years old. You already know way better that you knew better than that shit. Come on, man.
Yep.
I didn't know I couldn't do that. I've seen and heard people, and you know how black people don't have a problem walking into the stores and having to wear a mask. You know who has a problem with wearing a mask? They go walk in the store. I didn't know I didn't have to wear a mask. Bitch, you know it's a pandemic going on right now. How do you know you need to wear a mask? Shut your ass up. No, you can't get no groceries. I saw a white dude fighting with a Kroger employee, bum rush him because they wouldn't let him in because he ain't had no mask on. This nigga football tackled the employee because they wouldn't let him in. My nigga, what type of privilege do you have that you think you can walk around this junk while a pandemic is going on?
Man.
Unprotected, nigga. Unprotected.
But that's what we talking about, though, Jay. That's the thing. That's white privilege.
Is wilding.
That's white privilege.
White people should be called niggas. Y'all niggas is wilding because y'all acting ignorant as fuck.
I had to take my hat off to you, sir. That was an excellent analogy. We should entitle this podcast "The New Nigger." There it is, the new nigger. Think about it. Think about it. We've always known that when you reference nigga or nigger or whatever, right? We'll tell you in a minute. Black folks tell you in a minute. We ain't just talking about black folks because niggas can be anybody, right? We refer to everybody as nigga. When Tennessee Cole says,
because even Chris Rock said, you got black folks and you got niggas.
You got black folks, you got niggas.
Black people can kick it and be like, hey man, don't invite them 2 niggas over there. Okay, cool.
Because if you want to break it down in context about ignorant, because that's what we were taught, that nigger means ignorant, right? So if you want to break it down in context, that can apply to anybody that represents a solid or a state of ignorance continually, right? So what Coach says in that clip that you seen, and anybody that sees the Tennessee Coach is asked a question, he's doing a forum, why white people can't use the word nigga, N-I-G-G-A, how we refer to each other in music, in our culture, and how we communicate. And that's why, we talk about family can talk to each other a way that other people cannot. So me and you are friends. We've been friends forever. Me and you have a relationship and a friendship where we can talk to each other a certain way, and we know what we're saying to each other is not offensive, right? That's why when we talk about checking, we can check each other without getting mad, because we understand the context of what we're saying.
Right.
That may not apply to if somebody outside.
Somebody else jump up in that junk trying to get the same one.
We'd be like, "Hello, bro." Like, yeah, like what you exactly. So the relationship is different. So, and then the other thing is, when we're talking about white privilege, if you're really, when white people say, "How come I can't say it?" Why would you want to say it? Why would you want to? Like, what's your reason for wanting to say it?
Because
how come I can't say it?
Because you told them no.
Thank you.
Because you told them no.
Because
that's
you told them
reason. No. That's the only reason why. And like we were saying earlier, they're having a fit, falling out on the floor. Well, why want to use the word nigga? We're like, bitch. All right. We'll call you that all day because that's what you're acting like right now.
And it ain't like we walking around using the word hunky. It ain't like we going around talking about, "Hey, what's up, hunky? Can I get 5 on 6 of it?" Like, we ain't doing that.
But have you noticed they are the inventors of all the offensive words to other races. There is no offensive word for them. So, I'm not even gonna go through the names, but every category, for Black people, Mexicans, Jewish people, they have a name for them all. But there is not one for them. Yes, there is not one for them. But they have one. They have a book.
So
apparently, to call each and every one of us something.
But see, that's attached to privilege. What you're afraid of, you're always gonna give it a name to identify with something that's degrading or disrespectful, because that's how you view it, because you really can't, you don't understand it, you can't necessarily influence it, so you give it a name to identify, so that when people hear that name and see that name, they automatically attach a negative connotation to that group of people or that person. So that puts you on a higher level, so to speak, right? Because nobody calls you anything. And that's why when you watch Sanford and Son and you watch Good Times, and sometimes white folks get called a honky. In actuality, the honky represents something totally different than just calling them a honky. It's an actual reason why the white man is called a honky, and this is not necessarily the white woman. The white man is called a honky because
they call themselves that. Let's see, and see
but see, they don't even know why they call themselves that. They don't know the origin of the word.
Because there was a music that they called. It was called honky tonk. You had a wrestler that called itself the honky tonk man. So, again, there is nothing offensive to call them.
Right.
Unless I guess you call them the new nigga. But if you call them that, it's gonna be like that scene where Clayton Bigsby rolled up and the white boys listen to the rap music. Cut that jungle music off, you niggas! And it was like, hey, did you hear that? He called us niggas, yeah! That's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be a hip hop hooray moment, and they singing nigga in the streets.
You know what? I agree and disagree.
We're gonna be like, what is this foolishness? These niggas up and down. Justin Timberlake or somebody come out with a song called "No Niggas" and all the white people singing it. So you like, oh my goodness, what the fuck is going on? Because they want to embrace it too much.
It's two sides to what you just said. In essence, what you just said has already happened. When you mentioned Justin Timberlake, when you mentioned hip hop music, let's go back to Vanilla Ice. That's already been done. Yeah. Except there wasn't a word attached to it. It was an action attached to it. Because remember,
yes, it was. We call them wiggers back then.
No, I ain't call them that. I don't know who did. I ain't never. I don't remember us saying that. We ain't never said no. I heard some people say
that term existed back then.
Yeah. I ain't never used that word. I don't even remember you using that word.
I never used it, but I was like, man, I need to get out of here with this. Man.
No. That's totally unacceptable in any situation to ever say that. I'm saying, as far as the culture of Black folks, they've always stolen from it, not borrowed, stolen from it, like they steal everything else. Stolen from it, mimicked it, copied it, and then copywritten it as if it was theirs.
They want to trademark it and then put it on clothes and all this other type of stuff. Like,
exactly. So the behavior and the culture, they've always jacked the behavior and the culture. The difference with that actual word is
kente cloth
and kneeling.
They're trying to kente cloth the culture. Oh man, they trying to kente cloth the culture in the word.
And here's the other thing, though. That word in specific, that word, a lot of white folks our age and older, they're not going to accept that part of it. Some of the younger ones may be a little different, but they're not going to accept that word. I'm going to tell you why.
Because they ain't going to feel comfortable saying
that, and they know the way in which they have used it in their lifetime. The repetitive, hearing that repetitively, it causes the guilt. Guilt can kill you. Like guilt will make people commit suicide.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Guilt will take you out. There's already a guilt. There's already a white guilt that's going on right now. Okay. That's why they're responding in a lot of ways that they're responding. They're either trying to join the movement, quote unquote. Oh, we're so sorry. Or why they got to do this? Why everybody upset? Why they tearing up stuff? That's what guilt does to people who are guilty. So they're continuing to hear. That's why at one point in time, when they had the I think I forgot who it was, but they had a funeral for the word nigga, which I thought was probably one of the most dumbest things I ever seen.
And folks use it more now than ever.
And folks use exactly. So I'm like, what y'all mean having a funeral for the word? Why would you have a funeral for the word when racism's like, we need to have a funeral for racism, not for the word nigga. Like that's like, it's a byproduct of racism. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to cut the head off the snake to get rid of the snake, not cut his tail off and it keeps living. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of just sidebar, well, I ain't gonna say sidebar or whatever. When you're saying racism, I think the word is being overused because I think what we're fighting for is prejudice. And I think we need to use the word prejudice more instead of racism.
Well, the reason why the word racism is being used is, first of all, because if you understand the word racism in context, racism is about power and control over a group of people outside of yourselves. So that's why racism really has to be put out there first. Now, the prejudice aspect of it, prejudice can apply to anybody. Like black people can be prejudiced against other black people. Black people can be prejudiced of white folks. Black people can be prejudiced of Hispanics or whatever. Okay. But black people cannot be racist. They cannot. Black folks cannot be racist because I can't prevent somebody white from getting a job. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't prevent somebody white from getting an opportunity. You feel what I'm saying? White folks have traditionally prevented black folks from doing stuff because they've had an air of control and manipulation as it pertains to race. So that's why black folks can't be racist. That's why Hispanic folks can't be racist. So when white folks have a power, when they're able to control the destiny or future of a people, that's why the word racism has to be used. And so the thing is, to your point, in reference to your point, the word racism has been dumbed down to mean the same thing as prejudice when it does not. Prejudice is a byproduct of racism. You see what I'm saying? You can be prejudiced towards a person
and see
that's shorter than you, or a person that is, if we're, because prejudice has a lot to do with colorism, as we talked about before. You know what I'm saying? You can be prejudiced against your own people, but you cannot be black people. And I'm saying this again, black people cannot be racist because we don't control nobody's future. We don't control nobody's destiny. We can't make sure, we can't work at a bank and decide that white folks ain't gonna get along. You see what I'm saying?
right,
we
right.
can't work at a company and decide that white folks are not gonna get a job. We cannot do that.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Hey, so I guess to get on a more lighter note, I was I don't know if you saw the clip of the Terrence J going off on Marlon Wayans.
No, I didn't see that.
That's why I had that little side note on as far as people sleeping on the Wayans brothers.
Okay.
He started talking on the slick about saying I guess his career, I guess that he don't really have a career or something like that. It wouldn't be anything without his brothers or something like that, or that how I can't really describe. I don't want to misquote him, but he was shitting on him and his brothers. Then I'm like, man, I think people be sleeping on the Wayans brothers. Like, although they not in the limelight, or you might not like all of their projects, I don't think people realize their background. I mean, like, these ain't no silver spoon niggas. They like from the hood. They like the Jackson family in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? They in the hood.
Like, they sister can fight. Like, like they sister used to fight dude, beat up dudes. Like, man, we gotta find what he said though. I gotta hear what Terrence J said about.
They pulled it out. They came back around. It was like an apology. I ain't gonna say apology tour, but it came back around talking about this was something for some type of a show. But at the same time, the stuff that he was getting off while he was drunk, and he was saying some things about them, and I was like, and of course I'll say the internet dragged him for a couple of days for saying some of the stuff, but at the same time, I think there are people out there, a lot of people who be sleeping on the Wayans brothers.
Well,
like if it weren't for the Wayans brothers, you wouldn't have Jamie Foxx, you wouldn't have Jim Carrey,
man,
you wouldn't have Tommy Davidson,
you wouldn't have
Jennifer Lopez.
And I was about to say you wouldn't have J-Lo. Like you wouldn't have
J-Lo.
You wouldn't have Rosie Perez. You wouldn't have a lot of folks. Like,
I mean, I'll probably say this. You might still have them, but it would be later on, and they still probably won't peak their career until now.
Yeah. Because I believe I'm trying to find it real quick.
Because I feel like this Keenan Ivory Wayans saw talent and was like, you know what? Come on this show with me.
Well, that was the thing.
It was his judge of talent and putting people on his show.
Yeah, that was the thing. He was great at picking talent. And you got to remember, prior to Living Color, Keenan Ivory Wayans had been doing stand-up for years. And I think we talked about this on an earlier podcast about Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans and them back in the day. like back in
Right.
the early 80s and mid 80s, how they were pioneering the way we look at comedy now in a lot of, and as far as movies and so forth and so on.
I ain't really like
And,
Keenan. I was Damon. I'm Damon and Marlon.
well, you know, Keenan was like the first, like he was the first one. Like he was, him and Damon were doing stand up before, like they were out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Keenan was the mind kind of behind the whole concept of the shows and all of that.
He the mind and the muscle.
Right. And so Keenan, Damon, their sister, the brother, the younger brothers. I mean,
all of them funny. All
that's
of them.
and that's what I was about. That's what I was about to say.
They got another sister that's funny. Her
And
name's
that's what
Shantae Wayans.
Yeah, I was about to say. What family have we seen come through in entertainment that has had a bigger impact on entertainment than the Wayans family?
None.
Because all of them were funny. Like I mean, it's difficult to eat because I mean, you had, you know, Damon did his stand-up thing. Kenan was doing it first. They did movies. They wrote for people. You know, in Living Color, as far as comedy, sketch comedy shows go, In Living Color is probably the greatest sketch comedy show of all time.
My nigga,
Like,
you can play Men on Film right now, and I'm gonna die laughing.
dude, like,
Antoine Merriweather.
like, besides, I'll say for me, myself personally, you know, we came up watching, what was it? What's the other show? Sketch comedy show. I think it was Uptown Comedy Club that did stand up and a sketch comedy. You had Mad TV did the sketch
Mad
comedy.
TV. Yeah.
Of course, Chappelle Show. And you had some others that came out. But in Living Color, at the time that it came out, all the elements of hip hop that were involved in that show, from the music to the monologue to, like, dude would have LL Cool J on the show. Like, he would have Big Daddy Kane on the show. Like, he had, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rosie Perez did like a 5-minute dance routine on the show, and folks was watching it like somebody was singing or rapping on there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
It was crazy. And the impact that In Living Color had, the influence it had on pop culture at the time, it was just astounding. So then you had other shows that came after that patterned themselves after that show. And
I mean, just scratch the sketch comedy show. They movies. Scary movies 1 through 12.
Oh yeah.
You got Little Man. You got I think Keenan had a couple of movies where he was a leading man role, and he played in what was it, Low Down Dirty Shame or something like that. Shame, something like that. Those movies.
And what's so crazy about that? Low Down Dirty Shame was a blockbuster movie.
Yes.
And Damon Wayans did more money. It was a blockbuster movie.
Major Pain
was a blockbuster movie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
they
those
sleeping on there, man.
Like, those were big release, like, they were big anticipated release movies that did very well. It wasn't like they were like straight to VHS type of things. Like,
Who's
people
that movie
went
with Marlon Wayans? The Sixth Man?
Yeah, so now, well, I don't know about that. That was kind of a bad choice. Pick that.
Hey, man.
Sixth Man was not. No, it was not. No, it was
not. I like that movie.
No. Senseless
with Kadeem Hardison?
Yeah, I don't care. Kadeem is my guy. Like, Kadeem Hardison, that's my dude. Like, that's my dude. Hopefully Kadeem Hardison listens to the show, because Kadeem Hardison is my guy. But that movie was terrible.
For him. Man, I like that movie.
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as like Senseless was.
Describe
Senseless
Senseless.
was
What
better.
was Senseless?
That was the movie where Marlon Wayans was going to college. He was trying to get into this school, and he was taking this like it was like so.
Oh yeah.
So he was, and check it out. Check it out. What's his name? Bradley Cooper did another movie that was similar to that. It was more serious, where he took these Limitless. And Marlon Wayans was Senseless, where he took these like pills to make him, stay up longer. He was smarter. He could remember stuff.
Shit and calling it something else, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness!
See,
McDowell face ass people. They been McDowelling us for a while, man.
I'm just waiting for somebody to open a McDowell's. I want Eddie Murphy to license. No. I want Eddie Murphy to license that name and open a McDowell's.
He might already have a license. That's probably why ain't nobody used it.
That's probably, and you're probably right. He probably has a license anyway. Yeah, I'm sure he has too.
They have been McDowelling folks for a while and calling it something. I'm sorry, you know what? They call it renditions.
Yeah.
It's a rendition.
Yeah.
I got one other thing. Okay. The NBA.
Okay.
Well, first, I saw something real quick about the Carolina Panthers disrespecting Cam Newton or something that they tweeted about. There was like choose your GOAT.
Okay.
And they put like Julius Peppers, Steve Smith, and Luke Kuechly or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
They just put them three up there and it was like choose your GOATs. It's like word. So no Cam Newton, no. Cam Newton ain't no GOAT. Cam Newton ain't bring out to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton ain't take out to the playoffs several times. Cam Newton ain't break all type of records for your team, passing touchdowns, all of this, rushing yards. Your quarterback has the most rushing yards than your running back, and he ain't the GOAT that you put up there. Like, they mad disrespectful. They fucked that man over when how they let him go too, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, yeah, and yeah. What I'll say about that is there's something that went on in the organization that they're not talking about. There's something else that went on in the organization that they're not talking about, and Cam isn't talking about it either, because
how they let him go was almost as if he felt like he was still gonna be with the team, and it's like, bye.
Yeah.
After he could have got some money from some other teams.
Yeah. Again, I can't really go into a lot of detail about it because I'm still having some I'm still trying to find out more about that situation. Something went on behind closed doors between Cam Newton and the Panthers. And I think it was more than just, them not appreciating him or him not, him not feeling the management or what. Like, something else that went on. Like, something else had to go on for the way that they did that. Because, they got rid of the coach. They fired Ron Rivera first, which was very odd because Ron Rivera actually got them to where they were, like, competing for a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
And then they fired Ron Rivera, and he was like, I don't care. Like, my record stands for itself. I ain't worried about nothing because they want to get rid of me. Okay, cool. Go ahead and start up from the beginning. Like that part I didn't get. How they dealt with Cam in the media was very strange. A lot of the stuff that Cam even said was very strange to me. When I say strange, I mean it was almost like there was some other conversations going on behind closed doors that kind of made me feel like they were telling him one thing and then they did something else. Because and it was like he was just very Cam Newton's a very, very strange guy. Like he's a really strange, he's a very strange.
More and more I'm saying it. He like to call Malone a football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a very strange dude. So I'm still kind of trying to figure that whole thing out because there's no reason why. I just think that, well, I'll say this and I'll move on. I think that Cam Newton had been playing hurt. I think he's been injured for a while. And I think he kept playing and he possibly, there's a reason why he's not on somebody else's roster. And looking at him in totality, you're like, it's Cam Newton, right? But there's a reason why he's not on somebody else's roster right now. And this is not, I don't think it's the same type of situation that, with Kaepernick, we talking about with Kaepernick or even with Michael Vick, I think that there's some other stuff going on with his health that has probably been wrong with him for a long time, for a while. And basically, just kind of that relationship with the Panthers and him just kind of reached a point of like, okay, like it's time for you to go type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And, he didn't really have a lot of good stuff to say about them, but he never really said like, hey, they give me a hard time because, I'm black, or they give me a hard time because they don't want to pay me or whatever. It was just odd to see when you just mentioned that about them saying who was the go to Carolina and they not mention him. That was just very odd because, I mean, regardless if the guy, is a pariah or if he's, he's not good with the media or whatever, like you can't take his stats away. You can't take his Super Bowl appearance away. You can't take his performance away. You can't take his rushing yards away. You can't take none of that away. You know what I'm saying? So it may have been one of them situations where, they had some type of disagreements. It was probably some stuff being said, probably some stuff that Cam knew about the organization, probably some stuff they knew about him. And, it just didn't turn out good. Because them firing Ron Rivera to me was just, I was like, y'all fired Ron Rivera? Like, and Carolina was trash when he got there. And they were trash before Cam got there. You know what I'm saying? And then, you bring Steve Smith on, but they never really got him real receivers. You know what I'm saying? They got him like basic guys. So I don't know. I don't know. That was kind of puzzling to
me. I guess the last thing I touched on, it was something that I just saw in passing on social media the other day. And I don't even know how I got to this point. My nigga used to be balling, and like I said, I don't know how I got to this point, but I saw Young Buck on social media. I ain't gonna say begging, but how he sounded and was talking, it was like he was begging, but he was asking for money. He was like, he had 1 million fans. He was like, hey, I'm asking for $1. He's like, let's do this bucks for buck. He's like, I got 1 million fans. I'm just asking for $1. Cash at me, this, that, another. I was like, what? What? Nigga, you should be getting money from royalties of music or something, nigga. No?
Man.
I don't even care how bad you might be getting effed over. Your royalty check should at least be of some significance of it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I cannot see this.
Man.
Did he sign his rights away or something back to 50 Cent?
He must have, because I'm looking it up now. And
He
let's see.
must have sold the rest of his music away to 50 Cent for some money or something. I can't see this man on social media asking his fans for $1.
Man. So Young Buck, I think he's probably squandered a lot of his money too. I'm pretty sure he squandered a lot of his money. When him and 50 had that, him and 50 had them issues, and so then he had the phone call. He was calling 50 crying on the phone. You remember that? And 50 recorded him. That was kind of messed up. That was real messed up. But Young Buck probably did like most rappers do. So he signs a G Unit. He probably signed a bad deal, or he probably signed like a deal that's normal for somebody first signing without really knowing he's getting himself into. And what he probably did was depended way too much on 50 Cent for his career. Instead of going out and doing his own thing, building his own big fan base, probably.
But I thought that's what he was doing. He was doing that. I thought he was doing when Shawty Wanna Ride, that song. I thought he was creating his own little buzz. My nigga was.
But
and then next thing, I don't know what happened. It was just like.
I think he was relying too much on 50 and relying too much on the whole G Unit thing at a time where he probably should have, stepped away from G Unit a long, long time ago and focused himself mainly on the South and just did his South thing and stayed in the South and did it that way. Because his music really didn't get any better over time. You know what I'm saying? Like he had, a couple hits. But if you look at
Buck was hard, man. But it was like when 50 Cent wasn't no longer supporting him, it was like, where Young Buck at?
Yeah. Because even like, man, because I'm looking at an article
you still
now.
haven't seen the video? Are you looking at it now?
Yeah. So then he just, talked about he filed for bankruptcy. He said 50's not giving him his royalties. He says, I just seen in the headlines what they were saying. I only got $100 in my pocket. I only got $100 worth of clothes, $100 worth of jewelry, stuff like that. He says, perfect. I figured it's the perfect time to go there and start a GoFundMe. Send me $1. That's all I need. Just $1. I just think he's in a situation where, you know what I'm saying? Again, man, like he probably just played himself. You know what I'm saying?
Bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, and I think so. I just, I think he just kind of played himself. You know what I'm saying? And so, but, and then I think Game like sent them like $1,000 or something like that. Something, I guess. I don't know, but I just think I think he relied too much on 50 for his career. I think he should have just bounced off of G Unit a long, long time ago and probably went and got with Jay Prince or somebody and did his thing that way. But 50's like, I ain't seen too many 50. it ain't been too many people made money in 50's camp, like outside of him.
The Game?
I mean, they make it, but Game went on his own though. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Game is Game. Like,
Well, that's
Game
true.
is,
You got Ayo ain't went nowhere.
yeah,
Banks ain't went nowhere.
yeah. Banks had their first album was hard, and then he just fell off. The whole thing with him looking like Brian Pumper or whatever the dude's name is, looking like the porno dude, that just kind of killed his career. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah.
Yeah. That just kind of killed his career.
It did kill his career because I remember that. And then after that, it wasn't no more mixtapes.
No, it wasn't no more mixtapes. It was done. And I think that dude even raps himself. So people were getting him confused or something like that.
Oh, man. He was.
It's the goofiest thing. It was the goofiest thing ever, man. It was the goofiest thing ever.
He was.
Yep.
He was rapping too. He was a rapping porn star.
Yep. Lame as ever.
Man. Yeah, they got him out of there too because the niggas in the porn game was like, dude, get your whack ass, non-rapping ass up out of here. You ain't even dicking these hoes down right. Get your ass out of here. Oh, man. Man. So, during the Juneteenth over the weekend, social media found out that Beethoven was black. Let's go ahead and put that out there. I kind of related to his music for some reason anyway, so I understand.
I already knew Beethoven was black.
The race delegation. And so on this COVID thing, everybody got to stick this little thing in their nose. How is it that the NBA players get to have a ring to notify them that they got the COVID?
Because they're rich. That's why.
I'm like, if all we got to do is wear a ring, how come we just can't get this ring to notify us a couple of days that this is about to?
Because they're rich. Because they are rich.
Man.
That's for the wealthy. That's for the wealthy. The regular people get swabs stuck up in their brain. Okay, those guys make 10 million to 100 million a year. So they don't want to get a swab stuck up their nose like everyday people. They get to wear a ring. So it's rich. There's another privilege for rich folks. As much as I love my NBA folks, that's rich privilege. That's what that is rich privilege. So no, they're not going to get swabbed. They're going to get a ring because they got money, and the league got money to pay for it.
Do you think it's going to happen? Which I didn't make mention of it last week, but did you know Ezekiel Elliott got it? They swept that shit up under the rug real quick.
What, Corona?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't know that. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Do you think that this is going to actually happen or go through? Because how they're talking is like it's going to happen, but you're probably not going to see the stars.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. I think a lot of guys are not going to play. There's already guys that are saying that they're not going to go to Orlando and play. There's a bunch of them actually.
Oh my God!
That are saying they're not going to go there and play.
Dude, the rate has skyrocketed over the weekend.
Yeah.
No, I ain't trying to go down there.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that aren't going to play, and I think they need. I think they already know that though.
And one of the dudes on well, I was looking at one of the sports shows this morning. Was saying he's like, and dude, he was like, and they're not all going to stay in the bubble.
No.
He's like, they're gonna try and creep something in, or they're gonna try and creep creep out to go get something somewhere or whatever like that. And I'm like, dude, this is not going to work.
It ain't.
Hell, I put like this. Other people have already made it through their phases. They went to phase 3 and going out of their phases. We're going back to phase 1. We are so undisciplined. It's ridiculous.
No,
do you
it's not.
realize this? We're going back to phase 1.
It's not the people. It's not the people.
The other countries have been disciplined. But all of a sudden they're starting to go out because now they're not getting new cases. We are going back to phase 1 because new niggas can't stay in the house.
Well, you know, China is gone back. China's not. Yeah, China's gone back. See, that's the thing they're not talking about right now because we've got so much other stuff going on. China's not in the clear. China had a breakout like a month and a half ago, and they're right back to square one. I think, this is my personal thoughts, I think that the organizations that we depend on for that information are not sure themselves. They're just kind of, going as how they think things are supposed to happen or whatever. So they're the ones that said we're going from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3 or whatever. We didn't make that decision. They made that decision. So at one point in time here recently, you did not see people on the streets. You didn't see people going out. You didn't see places opening up and so forth because they were following their protocol. When they came back and said, okay, now we're going to do this essential, non-essential, whatever, people said, okay, cool. Then they started saying, well, grocery stores and other own places are going to be open. And then people said, okay. Then they said, we're going to open up these other places at a limited time. Well, in actuality, you have more people going to the grocery store than ever before. So why grocery store still open? Well, we got to have food. Well, you're exposed. What do you do? Are we going to wear a mask and wear gloves? Like, they don't really know what's going on. They don't really have an answer. They don't really have a defined method of control or containment. So it's like, hey, let's come up with something. And then when the numbers go back up, then we'll go back to phases. Lastly, I'll say that, I don't want to sound like a demented conspiracy theorist, but I think the numbers that they're talking about, there's some sketchy things going on with those numbers, and I'll leave it at that.
Dude, okay, I'm going to say 2 things. Okay, first thing, if you want to see something sketchy, type in any 3-digit number and put, what was it? Put any 3-digit number and put new cases in your Google search and see what come up.
Any 3-digit number.
Yep. I just did 333. I did 123. I did 777. I did 999, 888. All repetitive 3 different numbers, and you're gonna see something very interesting.
Okay. So I put in 222, and this brought up Oklahoma reports 222 new COVID-19 cases.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to do.
And you see a whole bunch, you see a whole list of other stories that just so happen to have 222 COVID-19 cases.
Okay. So
a whole different list of stories.
Okay. So just hold tight. So Pennsylvania Health Department confirms 456 new coronavirus cases. All right. Okay. Florida Department of Health, 777 new cases. This one says Dallas County reports 3 deaths, 345 new COVID-19 cases. It's interesting how those numbers you put in, it's always something that says that that number has increased by those amount of cases. It's kind of interesting.
So I say that to say there is fake news going on. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like it's a glitch in the matrix or something. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
And so the news can't slick be reporting on this. And it's like, dude, this ain't that many cases out here.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know what's real and what's fake no more.
And no, here's the thing. You put those numbers in, you go to the article, and it'll tell you the number of cases is the certain number. When you go into the article, it says, oh no, there are only like 14 new cases of a total of 999. But when you're Googling it, it makes it seem like, oh, cases come to a new total of 999. When in actuality, no, there's just been 14 new cases since we last checked, which was maybe a week ago. So the total now is 999, but they make it seem like, oh, it rose 999 cases since last week, and that's not true. That means your total cases for the whole time this has been out is 999. But they make it seem like it rose by 999 cases in this time frame.
It was something else I was finna say. I forgot the other John. What was you talking about before I brought that up?
No, I was just saying that I think the numbers are being manipulated in some way. Like I'm just as concerned as anybody else, but it's just really interesting how they're reporting the numbers. That's all I'll say.
That's my other theory. My other theory is that, okay, so if you know anything about your body, you know that a lot of things in your body already exist within it in order for it to fight it off. So like we all have cancer cells in our body. So the reason why we have cancer or something comes up is because something within our body does no longer fight it off, and so it becomes cancerous or whatever like that. So my theory is, in some form or fashion, I feel like that this is something that we all already have. So if anyone tests for it, anyone is slick might have it because we all have it. But there is something that's going on that is exposing it more and making it run rapid, is making us sick at a fast rate.
Right. Yeah.
So they don't know what it is that is causing everyone to get sick at this fast rate. But like I said, I think it's something that we all have, and there's something that's going on that's exploiting this thing that we already have.
Yeah.
Now, what it could be, I could just throw something out there, just a conspiracy theory. 5G. That's the only other thing, new shit that's happening all of a sudden, that all of a sudden now everyone is just having issues. While in the process, 5G towers are being built every other day. But that's just a theory. That's just all I'm saying. But at the same time, I do feel like it's something that I think that we do already have in our systems, in our body.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I hope not, because after seeing what happened to DL Hughley, man, and this nigga didn't have no symptoms, no signs. He said he didn't even have a cough. Did you watch that video?
I saw it. Yep.
My nigga was just to me, when he was sitting there, I thought he had a stroke because he was so incoherent. He was like, and then it was just like his head just dropped. I'm like, damn, did he have a stroke? And then he came back and was like, he tested positive for coronavirus. I was like, damn.
Right. I think
that was the spooky shit. Him never having signs at all. No coughing, no nothing, no mucus, no anything, and he just passed out. You was like, dude.
Yeah, I think I just say, you know, get better, DL.
Yes.
Get better soon, big brother. You know, a lot of this stuff is not explained. We can't explain it. You know, I don't even want to take the time to try to figure it all out. But just get better, DL Hughley. Everybody protect yourselves as much as you possibly can. And, you know, continue to wear condoms too. That's important.
Oh boy. I said you just out here. I know you've been out here thotting in these streets too, sir. So yeah, wear a condom, my nigga. You've been out here thotting in these streets, sir. I've been seeing you, sir.
You ain't been saying nothing because I ain't been thotting. No, sir. Not at all.
As he turns the camera off.
Oh, well, it's been a great show, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Let's
not do that.
Yeah, let's end this on like we began. Peace and blessings, my brother.
Peace and blessings, my brother. Good to see you again.
Yes,
Power to the people.
Yes. Good to see that you're still in good standings, good health, my nigga.
Likewise.
Good to hear your family's still in good health. Is always good.
Likewise.
Everybody who's in good health, you made it another day.
That's right.
That's always a blessing. Like Dave Chappelle said, any nigga who survives this nightmare is my hero.
Is my hero. That's right.
Hero. Cause this is a nightmare that's going on.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? This is like the movie Us that Keith Hill was that he produced. This is a nightmare that we're living through every day right now. We are battling police. We are battling the COVID. We are battling racism. We battling everything all in one blow every day, every night.
Yep.
So,
at the same time.
If you are making it, man, hey, it is a blessing. You are my hero. I hope that I'm yours, getting you through what we are going through.
Yep.
What we are going through.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I'm sure Ivan appreciates all of our listeners, new listeners.
Absolutely.
It's becoming a dope journey because I promise you, my nigga, if I didn't have this, I would be going insane.
Yeah. This is an outlet, man. And
I would be
it's
going insane because outside of this, it is depressing. Has been.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, man, for this journey. I appreciate everybody who's listening while we're going on this journey. Thank you. I am whatever you got to say too.
Oh no, man. I just I concur with everything that Jay says. This is therapy for me too. Like, this is therapy for me. Hopefully something that we say, we cover, we talk about is relatable and helps to, keep people's, minds relatable to what we're dealing with, but not taken away from the experience, not pulling us away from it, but actually pulling us closer to each other and having the discussions, having the tough discussions, having the tough conversations about what we're dealing with and how to get through it, man. So peace and blessings to everybody far and near, and keep praying, keep believing, and keep working, because that's what we're gonna keep doing. So keep on keeping on.
If you support racism and oppression, fuck you.
Yeah, 1,000 times over.
I don't even know how I can say that any harsher than that. I'm sorry, Mama. If you had to hear this, I'm sorry. My apologies. But I'm about to say it again. So go ahead and mute. Go ahead and mute it right now at this very moment. Anyone who supports oppression, fuck you.
1,000 times. 1,000 times.
And on that note, new niggas, here's the episode. Quit trying to Kente clout us. This is our shit. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
And leave us alone.
Man, leave us alone. Leave me alone. Shit. Leave us alone, man. Let us be. Let us be in peace. Let us be in peace. Peace and blessings, my people. I am Jason JWILLDOES. I got my guy here, Ivan the Grizzly, the Great. Whoa! Was that the George Jefferson?
You lying, man. No, man, my hair is completely bald, bro. I ain't
Woo! I thought I saw. Okay. Oh, man, stay with them hands, my nigga. I thought I saw it. I was like, man.
No, you did not. I am not doing myself like that, sir.
Okay, cool. I got my guy, Ivan the Grizzly, the Great. And we are the Off on the Tangent podcast, and we're about to jump. Happy Juneteenth! It's a celebration, bitches!
As a celebration.
Marlon, peace.
Marlon.